Hello, I hope you're doing fine. I hope you're doing wonderful. I hope you are discoing. Please, before I start, if you like, share, subscribe, please help me circulate this video. All right, this is a GDX brief, and I'm talking about the possible tradable bottom for GDX. And as of this second, no one knows. All we know now is that GDX is in meltdown mode, and hopefully not for long. All right, so the first slide here is about the first ABC, which means this is the first trading range where it got broken down after a beautiful almost 8 months rally. So we broke down from here. Usually the 262 Fibonacci extension is a terminal move. Sometime it goes to 289, but usually 262 at least it would have a bounce. So you measure this by the high minus the low times 262 equals to 2770. Okay, so most likely you will have a bounce at 2760, sorry. Most likely you're gonna have a bounce at 2760. So ABC. Then hopefully the trend will change for GDX and GDX investors. All right, this is another thing, repeated pattern. I posted this last week in my Twitter account. The possibility of a continuation pattern right here is a form of pennant, like what happened here in September 2022, and after that it went down about 8.7%. As of now, our target is almost 6.7%, which is the 2760, almost 7%. Okay, so it's funny how it repeated itself. The same thing, because people, people are the same. The fear and greed always move them. So I talked about the terminal move at the 2.62 Fibonacci extension. It might go to 289, but no one knows the future. I talked about this pattern that repeated itself as it did back in 2022. All right, so this is an Elliott wave count for GDX. We put 1, 2, X right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A, 1, 2, 3. B, and we are going through the 5 waves down as the final C. And as I said before, no one knows, but most likely we made 5 waves up. So hopefully it's going to be 1, the major 1, and this is going to be a major 2. So I have to see if the 4th wave, I think the major 2 is okay. The check counts are okay. So hopefully we're going to have a beautiful bull leg after that, and making money would be easier if things go in our favors. All right. So this is the Elliott wave for GDX. Good deal. Another thing, if we talk about this leg right here, we might have different targets. The first target, if this is A, which is the low of 28.76, this is B, the high at 32.92. The 162 Fibonacci extension of this breakdown would be 26.11. That's another target. It's a valid target too if you put, I'm gonna put the volume by price, the big one after this one right here. So if we have a full measured moves, which means equal, this is going to be equal right here. It's going to be 24.50, and it is definitely a possibility. Let's hope it does not happen for the sake of people in GDX and GDX investors. All right, so let's look at the volume by price, where we would have very strong. This is the next strong. Okay, the next strong volume by price is right here at at this level. If we're gonna have 2611 as the 162 Fibonacci extension of this breakdown, this is going to be the most traded area before we go down. If I put it on the month in the monthly, so let's see, 23. Now that's really far. All right, so I talked about the small ABC and their targets. All right, so this is Elliott wave as a whole. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No violation at all. Fourth wave does not intersect with 2. 3 is the longest one. It's not the shortest one right here. Well, and it is the longest one right here. So supposedly not the shortest one, but it is the longest one. And 5 equals 2. 5 is I think it's an extension of 1. Okay, so we have ABC. Then hopefully we can have the second wave. Then up we go, and we have to make sure this will happen by looking for buy signals and bullish actions. All right, so this is another thing I do usually after a sharp breakdown in GDX. I've been doing this for years. I look at the price destruction and how many time it took place. I add them together and I average them. So for the last, with the exception of the last one, for the last 6 years, GDX had 20 corrections with an average price destruction of 20%. Before, it has a sizable bounce, and now we are at 15.3, so we are 5% below the average of 20% of the last 6 years. Again, it took the correction before a sizable bounce took place 20 times with an average price destruction of 20%. Good deal. All right, and this is another thing I usually do. I look for the stochastic in the weekly time frame. Once it comes out of oversold, a new bull leg sometimes, most of the times takes place. So I looked at the duration, the time that the stochastic stay below 20, and what happens after that. And it happened about the average. It happened 10 times in the last 6 years, with an average of 2.1 months. And now we started in late June. Maybe we're gonna hit the average by late August to come out of this oversold and a bull leg happens. Please like if you like, please share, please subscribe, please do remember, Disco is forever.